Hi, Sagafi, Liberty Home Mortgage. And what am I talking about today? I am talking about variable income. If you are looking to buy a home and you have any type of variable income, now, what qualifies for variable income? I will tell you, the biggest problem in the mortgage lending industry, here's the biggest problem: employment history, income issues. Credit is so cut and dry. It's not so cut and dry, but it's pretty cut and dry. We pull your credit, we do it over the phone, electronically, online, whatever it is. Within 60 seconds, you give me your name, your social security number, your date of birth, your home address. I'll have all 3 credit bureaus up. I'll see your credit. Now, there's a lot more to credit than just saying credit's easy to analyze. It's not that easy to analyze, but it gives you a score. We see the history. Generally, that box gets checked off pretty quick. Where you really start getting into the weeds and the swamp, okay, is when you're looking at people's employment histories and you're looking at their income. I can give you example after example after example after example, okay? Give you an example of variable income. If this is you, pay attention. You do not work the same exact number of hours week after week and year after year. Do you work a job where you're on call? Maybe you're a nurse. I spoke to a registered dietitian recently. She gets called in on an as-needed basis. So today she might work 10 hours, tomorrow she might work 2. The next day she might work 4. So do you have variable work hours? Now, somebody who works at General Motors probably works 9 to 5 or 6 to 2 or whatever. A police officer, they work the day shift, which is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or something like that, okay? That's set. That's set in stone. You're working 8 hours, that's the end of it. You know, or firemen, or you do 2 on, 2 off, or 1 on, 2 off, whatever the schedule is. It's a set number of hours that before you even start your job, you know that's the number of hours I'm working. If that does not describe you, you have variable hours, okay? Another one, overtime. Overtime is variable. Nobody works a set standard number of overtimes for 30 years on their job. They just don't. Overtime is variable. Sometimes you have to work more hours at the job, sometimes you don't. That's variable. Commission. Commission's variable. I was just talking to my best friend the other day. We were talking about parents owned a food store years ago, and they made most of their money in the wintertime, believe it or not, okay? In the summertime, it was kind of slow. So that's variable. Not that that's commission, but commissions are like that. If you're a car you're a car salesperson, you sell cars, okay? Who knows, maybe if you're up in the northern tip of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan or something like that, and you sell cars there, I'm willing to bet money when it gets really cold in the wintertime, you probably get less people on the lot. You probably get more people on the lot in the summertime. That varies. Commission income is variable income. Bonuses are variable types of income. So when you're looking at all the different types of income there is, self-employment, for example, is variable. So if that's the box you're in, you earn variable income, okay? I'm gonna give you the general rule of thumb for the mortgage lending industry. So for every loan officer out there watching, and believe me, if you're a loan officer, you should be watching all these videos. This is the guide that you wanna follow, okay? We take the income and we average it for the last 2 consecutive years. By the way, if you're working 5 different jobs and it's on, off, all over the creation, none of it qualifies, okay? Generally, none of it qualifies, not in a good way. We generally want you to be on the job for 2 years. When it comes to variable income, we wanna see it for 2 years on the job you're on, okay? If it's not 2 years, it's less than 2, but more than 1, we can give what's called an exception. Periods of time less than 1, generally, 9 times out of 10, no exceptions, no nothing, it's not gonna be used. So if it's variable income, at the very least, to even have a conversation, realistically and generally, it needs to be at least 1 year of doing it. For the most part, we wanna see 2 years of that, okay? So when it comes to variable income, one big thing is we wanna see it for 2 years on this job, not, I did roofing with my buddy and he just called me out of the blue and I did that. Then I was a substitute teacher for the Chicago public school system and they would call me in here and there. I went in for that and then I picked up some plowing snow in the wintertime at 3 in the morning. I picked up that. My income is variable. No, I'm gonna take somebody who tells me that story, a good loan officer, and this is why you wanna work with loan officers who know what they're doing, maybe some who have 24 years of experience or more, okay? Anyways, I'm gonna say to that person, let's start with your substitute teaching job. When did you start working there? Gosh, I just started 4 months ago. Okay, throw it out the window. Nothing. I need 2 years. And if it's not 2 years, I need a lot better than 4 months, okay? Let's talk about the snow plowing job. How often do you do that? I don't. I do it here and there when they call me. Throw that out the window. Okay, let's talk about whatever other job I mentioned. I don't care if it's cutting grass or landscape or something. It's on and off, okay? I throw that out the window. You have no income. You have zero income that I'm going to use. For all the people watching me who are all pissed off right now saying, this is horrible, who do they give loans to? Simple. Some of the people we give loans to are people who have stable jobs and stable incomes. So on variable income, we average it over a 1 to 2 year period. We average it. It has to be, or it should be, is what I should say. It should be the same or increasing over time. I don't want to see that your overtime went from $30,000 of overtime 2 years ago to $10,000 last year, and your pay stubs this year show you're going to make $100 of overtime. That is a declining income. If you have variable income and it's decreasing over time, that is not good. Okay, it's not good at all. So if you have a variable income, you don't work consistent hours. You work, your income shifts. For example, by the way, you're a truck driver, you get paid by the load, you get paid by the mile, you get paid sometimes by the day. Truck drivers especially, that's another variable type of income. A lot of truck drivers get paid by the load, or they get paid a percentage of the loads they deliver. Well, guess what? Some days they don't deliver any, other days they deliver a ton. Cement truck drivers or people like that, they get paid by the load that they deliver, they drop, whatever it is. So pay attention. There's a lot of jobs out there that have variable income. You've got to work with a loan officer who knows what they're doing and how to analyze it. I'm not sitting here saying because you get variable income, you won't get a loan. I'm not saying that at all, but I will tell you, if it's less than 2 years, you better be working with someone who's really good, and you better detail out your employment history because that is a big, big deal. Pay attention to these videos, follow along, and especially if you're a real estate agent, make sure you are working with the right people too, because you get this all calculated out wrong. Guess when it all comes to pass? Day before closing, when it blows up in everybody's face. Follow these, subscribe to my page. I have other videos on calculating income and reading credit and types of loans and 1,000 other things. So we'll catch you on the next one.